Camp going?
Man, so far so good, man. We're coming together as a unit, and the guys are working extremely hard. You can tell they bought into what we're asking them to do, and just want to continue to see it develop before our eyes.
Ideally, how many guys in a defensive line rotation would you like?
And
then do you think you can have with this group?
Ideally, with us running 4 down, you would like to have a solid team. So that's what we're hoping for.
Got some new faces in this fall. Just what's it been like working with that new group, and what have you seen from them?
They definitely have added value. Mike Sanjo, man, he's a guy who's taking a lot of reps right now inside, and he's helping us. He's athletic and tough kid, and just really looking forward to the value that he'll bring to our group up front. David Abiar is a guy that's he's still learning how we do things, but it's great to have that body here.
Stephon Wright is kind of finally healthy.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him in his time he's been able to get out there?
Big athlete, twitchy, has an awesome skill set, and I really think his best football is in front of him. We keep him on the field. You expect big things from him.
How much have the returners from last season helped prepare and get the new recruits ready for this season?
It's been good. When you have a guy like Elijah Chatman, a guy who's been in the fire, DeVere Levelston, a guy who's been in the fire, and they know what the expectations are. They know what it's like to be out there on Saturdays competing. They can grab the young guys by and take them under their wing and teach those guys things that maybe coaches can't do in the locker room. There's just certain things that when you hear from a player, it means a little bit more to you.
Chapman and Levelston obviously were very good last year. And obviously you want a rotation, but are those maybe 2 guys that maybe you're going to ask a little bit more of this year? Be like, hey,
Yeah, absolutely. You want to see those guys build off of what they did last year, continue to develop and be better, and they're competing against themselves. To be the best version of them, and the biggest thing to keep those guys fresh, keep them healthy, and that's why you want to continue to develop depth.
Looking for a pass rush. Isaiah Smith has kind of stood out. What have you seen from him?
Twitchy, man. He's twitchy, has a motor, man. He goes, man. We call him Turbo, and he just goes, man. Whether he's doing it right or doing it wrong, it's 100 miles per hour, so you love it. And a guy like that who loves football, you want to figure out a way to get him on the field.
Who are some of the other guys, in terms of pass rushers that are catching your eye so far?
Jaden Jones, he's putting together a really good camp, man. Really, beautiful frame, 6'4", 250. He's putting it together. I mean, the tools are there. He's long, he's athletic, he can run. We ask those guys to do some things in coverage, and it just kind of looks easy for him. So the more reps he gets, the more he continues to develop.
Did you ever outbench Elijah Chatman?
No, matter of fact, I've never had a D lineman, hit 225 like 40 plus times. That's a pretty freakish number. So, just seeing him be able to translate that to the field is what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, with him too, obviously he's kind of a shorter guy, so he can be able to get low and kind of get that leverage. I guess when you see him, what kind of just opportunity for success with that strength and that low frame do you kind of see?
You hit it right on the head, that leverage, man. Not to play high, to get under those blockers. Man, he's a guy, man, that's just so much power. He rolls out his hips and he knocks people back and uses his hands well. And our biggest thing is trying to have him keep his head out of it and just use his hands more, because when he does it, man, it's really fun to watch.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, when you got this job, is that maybe a guy that you're like, oh, when you see on film, you're like, oh, that's someone that we can.
Honestly, I watched the tape and I kind of knew a couple of these guys. I remember DeVere Levelston from DeSoto, and then and you get here, you ask, hey, who's the toughest guy in the group? Who's the guy? And everybody said Elijah Chatman. So immediately, that was the first guy I called. And I just wanted to build a relationship with these guys, and that's still going forward, man. Just want to make sure that they know who I am as a man first, and I think then you're able to coach them. Then you can get those guys to run through a wall for you.
I thought Dylan Frazier was a former player when he was here this spring. What have you seen from him? He seems physically at least ready to roll.
Yeah, Dylan is a tough-minded kid. He don't take any junk from anybody. Man, he's willing. He's learning the defense. He's just like any other freshman. Cloudy mind equals slow feet, and he's still trying to put it together. But you could tell the skill set is there, and you could tell he's going to be a really good player on it.
I know you pointed out what you did as a player quite a bit in the spring. Do you keep challenging the guys and kind of let them know what the bar is and that you want to see them jump it?
Oh, absolutely. Just understanding, man, they're not just competing against the guys on this team or against the offense. You're competing against everybody in the country and the product that you put out on the tape. So taking pride in what you put on tape, that's really been very important for me.